All right, consider this biology question. The hormone which throws up the muscles of a person in times of danger is from dash. A, the thyroid gland, B, the pancreas, C, adrenal gland, D, liver. This is supposed to be option D, not C again. And E, the spleen. Very good. The correct answer to this is the adrenal gland. First of all, what is the hormone that tones up the muscle? So that hormone is known as adrenaline. So this is a very popular hormone. So adrenaline. So this adrenaline, when an individual is faced with danger, so this adrenaline will initiate what we call fight or flight response. Fight or flight response. So what do I mean by that? So when you are faced with danger, it's either this adrenaline tells you to fight, so maybe it's something that you can handle, yeah, or the adrenaline tells you to fly away, run, so you don't feel stand down. So that's what adrenaline does. And where does this adrenaline come from? It comes from the adrenal gland. Now, how does it initiate flight or fight response? The response always comes in several forms. And it shows several signs. The first thing that you will notice is that the blood will start pumping fast. You see an individual, so the blood will start pumping, the heart rate will increase. So that's why you see an individual, so the person can be sweating because of the danger. Secondly, so the breath of that person, the breath rate will increase because that person will take in more oxygen. The person will start breathing heavily. So because at that point you need more oxygen. So next is dilation of pupil. Your eyes will be opening and closing for clear vision because of the danger that you are faced with. Another thing that can happen is muscle priming. So you see the muscle rising, especially in men. So when there is danger or when there is something that annoys you, the adrenaline will rise up. So that is either fight or flight response. So those are the things that this adrenaline can initiate in your body when there is time for danger. So however, other options are wrong. So let's consider option A. This is thyroid gland. So this is wrong. This does not produce flight or fight hormone. So the major hormone that is produced by the thyroid gland is what we call thyroxine. So thyroxine, in fact, this thyroid gland, so it produces thyroxine. And the thyroxine that I'm talking about here, it contributes to the general metabolic activities of the body. So for example, your growth is through the thyroxine. So it helps in proper growth, and it doesn't contribute to the adrenaline, that is flight or emergency hormone. It doesn't contribute. Secondly, the pancreas, B. So pancreas is very popular among the endocrine gland. So among the endocrine gland, the pancreas is the one that helps us to regulate sugar. So by secreting an hormone called insulin, and another one which is called the glucagon. So insulin helps us to engulf sugar. So if there is more excess sugar in the body, it is insulin that helps us to swallow the sugar. Then glucagon. So if we lack enough sugar, it is glucagon that will help us to supply more sugar. Then liver. Liver is not an endocrine gland that secretes emergency hormone. So what liver does is to detoxify the blood and to help us store glycogen. So glycogen is complex sugar. So that by the time of starvation, the glycogen will be converted to glucose and sustain us more. So liver cannot be the answer. Then spleen. Spleen is a part of the lymphatic cell. So the lymphatic cell is what helps us, the lymphatic system. So the lymphatic system is the system of the body where white blood cell is produced. So to help fight against infection. So spleen is part of the lymphatic system. So this adrenal gland is the correct answer. And the adrenal gland is usually found on top of the kidney. On top of our kidney. So that renal, anything that has to do with renal. So renal gland, renal it has to do with kidney. So adrenal gland is found on top of our kidney. So the correct answer is option C. Thank you.